This only happened yesterday, when me and my best friend were just hanging out as we normally do, at my house. We were really bored, so we decided to take a calm walk around my neighbourhood. Or so we thought. So, let me tell you about my block. There is a hospital nearby, and my neighbourhood has a history of drug and alcohol-related incidents. But these don't happen very often. Nevertheless, it was kind of dodgy. So, me and my friend, for the reasons of privacy we'll call her N, were talking, messing around, and such for the entire walk, having a blast in each other's company, until we were about to reach my house to finish the walk. Now, let me set the scene. So we'd just turned a corner to walk down our street, with houses on one side, a parkland on the other side, and a two-lane road separating them. My house is right next to the parkland. N and I were walking down the footpath on the side of the parkland towards my house, in silence. Just taking in the views, I guess. I don't know. But when we were about 15 metres away from my house, I heard a footstep around 15 metres away from me and N. Only one. I casually turned around, expecting a young teenager or an older person, because that's usually who we see walking around these footpaths in my area. But what I saw will be burnt into the back of my head for years. 15 metres away from us, there was this off-looking man. He looked young, I'd say mid-20s. He had a skinny figure and dull but fierce-looking eyes. He wore a dark hoodie and jeans, and he was looking at me with an unsettling look in his eyes. But the absolute worst part of this was that the man was limping very aggressively, walking very quickly towards me and N. It looked unnatural. It looked like he was possessed. He was grinning at me with the most creepiest smile I have ever seen in my life. It was twisted, his head was cocked to the side, and this man's teeth were so yellow I could see it from 15 metres away. He looked psychotic, and he looked like he wanted to harm us in the most brutal way imaginable. I whipped back around and told N to start quickly walking back to my house, because running might make the man angry and run after us. We don't know if he's high or drunk or not, but I was too panicky. I didn't even mention why we should haul ass back home. N turned around and almost screamed and stared in shock. I've never seen in my life someone pull that kind of face before. I grabbed her wrist, and we sped up to reach my home. I turned around, and the man was about 9 or 10 metres away from us, and he was moving quicker, with that disturbing broken limp of his. If it didn't look unnatural or scary to even begin with, it sure did now. We are two young teenage girls, and even if we both fought against the man, I don't think we would win, even if he was on the skinnier side. We sped up, and it was a chase. No running, but very close enough. He was chasing us with this fast, demonic limp, and we tried to speed up and keep the now 10-metre gap between us. We managed to get home safely, and I peeked into the window by myself, as N was in shock for a bit. The man had slowed down, but was still limping. But he crossed over to the other side of the road. For what reasons? I will never know. He went out of sight, and I closed the curtains, still shaky. After all that shit, N and I went back into the kitchen to grab some water. My kitchen window kind of overlooks a bit of the parkland, and we have a decent view of it. We both saw the man sink back into the parkland, and never saw him after that. Afterwards, I thought about the whole incident, and probably got even more unsettled. I only heard one footstep, no pattern, nothing, just a thump on the ground by a sneaker. That's it. Then it hit me. The man was trying to attack N and I. He was trying to sneak upon us. It gives me anxiety, knowing that if I didn't hear that single footstep, or didn't turn around, we could have been in some serious shit. That man could have had a knife, or a different type of weapon in his hoodie pockets. Who knows what could have happened?